Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for your show of love. Thank you so much for all that you do for this community to keep growing. Hope you're well in all your ways, Your Majesties, and you're loving yourself and others like always. All right. I'm checking whether the mic is still working. Okay, today I would want us to talk about something. It's important. You know, I don't bring anything here that it's not important. And this whole okay, how does the life of a bishop is after denouncing whatever it is that he has been professing and teaching others to believe? I don't know if you understand that. Um, After I left the convent, life was difficult, Your Majesties. And do you know what? It's even those who are very close to you that even make it more difficult for you. Of course, it's those that know you that bring you down. From the system itself, they sat down, they're waiting to see how my life is going to be a wretched one. All right, how I would regret. I'm going to share the story. Okay, we have a story of a bishop here, Bishop Mamunga. I've been bringing him here, so he's going to share his life, how he lived after he stopped being a bishop and then decided to start thinking critically and asking questions. Now it's not easy, like I was saying. Those in the convent, the sisters, my classmates themselves, were waiting eagerly. They were always, their eyes and ears were always around me, trying to know what I'm doing next. All right, how is my life? Am I making it? All right, am I not making it? Will I be able to marry? All right, because it's been rumored, even in the system while I was in the convent, that there are some persons that it's when you leave the convent, God will be angry with you, so you will not have a husband. And even if you have husband, you will not have children, you will not have a peaceful family, you will not have this, you will not have that. These are the things that most of the times are said, and then the fear is there. You're questioning the system. There are a lot of things going on against your existence as a person, and you can't just leave. All right, I have a lot, even of my classmates, that the system feels so, they feel so agitated by the system, they want to leave. But the whole ideology of when you leave, God is going to curse you. It's a curse to be a sister and leave. It's a curse to be a bishop, a priest, and leave. This thing is holding down a lot of persons, hooking them down. They cannot move. So there have been eyes and ears around waiting to hear bad things about me so that they go back and be happy. Yes, she left. And you know the painful thing? Because I left on my own, I wasn't sent away. Oh my word, that is even tougher. You become an instant enemy the moment you write that you are leaving. It happened to me, Your Majesties. The moment I wrote that I was leaving, that moment, they started treating me as an alien. It was just few of them, even after I left, it was just a few of them that once in a while I just call to ask how I'm doing. And even those few, I know they're just trying to trace. Is she suffering? Is she making it? Is she that? Is she this? They make you an enemy. That's what I'm trying to say. And they frustrate your efforts. And then coming into the church, the lay people in the church are even the worst. They are as worse as those in the system. Therefore, they will begin to move around with information that are not even true. Some might even say you did something, so they pursue you. Nobody would want to believe that you left on your own because they saw the life as a heavenly life, so beautiful. How will you just leave? Oh, you can't stay without a man. That's why you're leaving, because Reverend sisters don't have husband. So it will be like, because you can't stay without a man, that's why you're leaving. A whole lot of other things. A whole lot of other things, Your Majesty. I think I talked about this on my very first video here. There are some things I talk about here. And there's this other school of thought that will come and tell you it's not because it's not your destiny, that's why you leave. They wouldn't want to just accept the fact that something is wrong with the system. All right? Because nobody want to go against the church. And they'll tell you to your face, you can't fight the church. You can't fight the church. They have been existing over 2,000 years. So who are you to come and fight the church? As you are living, 10 are entering. So all this whole ideology are there. The evil that keeps happening because we are giving upper hand to that evil to keep happening in the system called church. Now let's listen to this bishop.
Currently, who are you? Are you still a pastor? Or you shifted from it? And why?
When you go fishing, you dress up like a fisherman. When you go hunting, you dress like a hunter. When you go teaching, you dress up like a teacher. It will be totally obnoxious to prepare for war in the Atlantic or Antarctic frozen lands, and the battles are being fought in Somalia, in the deserts and the heats of Sahara. All your preparation becomes non-relevant. My growth pattern has not been easy. And I'm not saying so to be philosophical, honestly. I want to be very practical.
Get that.
That as of the last 3, 4, 5 years, when I met up with Womkulu Credo, some Sangomas in Drakensberg, in Swaziland, and Ghana, Nigeria, when I was writing the book, Going Places in the Spirit, critical book, which was my plateau of my growth. And I discovered that everything I'd been told about Christianity, in Christianity space, about indigenous and traditional people, was now being challenged by the experiences which I was now meeting. And I was going there as a bishop. And then of late, because I'm a sensitive person, my position on polygamy is no longer the same.
Okay.
My position on indigenous medicines is no longer the same. My positions on tithe collection is no longer the same. My position on politics and weapons, Christians collecting weapons and going to fight for their land, is no longer the same. My positions on the place of men and place of women in the community is no longer the same. So I've moved and I've changed.
Okay.
But because I carry this title of a bishop, the greater Christian community now feels like I'm bringing the title.
Yes.
Which represents the institution under disrepute. So I thought to myself, how about I help them? It's out of understanding
Okay.
that it's a title.
It's just a title.
And by the way, I did not steal this title. For those of you who did not know, I did not steal the title. In 2009, 2010, when I was opening a ministry called Vessel to Vessel,
Yes. Always dream. I would always dream of beats. I would always dream of clots. I would always dream of the river, the snakes, and I would always question myself, how do I see people's problems? Because I did not understand my gift then. I was a very young girl. I did not understand who is telling me your problems, who is showing me that you have a hectic headache, you've been in an accident, this and this.
and it
that.
sounds spooky. It sounds spooky, just boom. You are walking into someone and says, hey, when I fix up, and the person says, but how do you know? How do you?
Going back to that, do you believe in deja vu? Because I always see people, I'm like, this has happened before.
I would say on that one, the definition of human existence and reality has been limited by a Eurocentric colonial system that speaks of what you see, what you smell, what you hear, what you feel, and etc. But we all know these 5 senses, beautiful as they are in the laboratory, we don't function there. Because even the man who is teaching you those 5 senses in the laboratory, when he gets home, he dreams. So what sense is that? When you get to a place and say, but I was here.
I was here.
What sense is that? When you are sitting in a business meeting and something cuts through your stomach, the contract is right, but the gut feeling,
It's not right.
what is that? When you are greeting someone and something in you says, this person is not clean, what is that? So are we saying the human being is only limited by the 5 senses? Or we need to rewrite the science books and say, hey, maybe Europeans, you have 5 senses. But as Africans, we don't have 5. We have maybe 8, maybe 9. And inclusive to that would be deja vu, memory, dreams, gut,
dreams,
and even parental intuition. Then my mother calls me from nowhere. Hello, Joshua. Hi, Ma. Are you okay? I'm fine. Says, no, don't waste my time.
Connection.
Says, don't wait. What sense is that? What sense that maternal link between a mother and their child, where a mother leaves a child sleeping in the bed, she works in around the garden, and when she comes, says, no, my daughter has actually messed up a diaper.
How do you sense that? Yeah.
What sense is that? So, hence I'm saying, do we need to go back to the laboratory and say, Is the definition of humanity, according to the European system, that we only have 5 senses? Should we accept that as gospel
I'm
truth?
not accepting it.
Or we need to start accepting that there are other senses that we have not yet tapped into, which are also a reality.
Your Majesties, there's a lot of things went down there, and I hope you pick out something. Is a lot. If we're going to analyze that, is a lot. The truth is that the system wants you to believe what is presented to you. So the moment you start saying no, there is something else outside. The world is more than we see. There is what you are bringing to me is not the whole truth. There are other things. You become a threat to the system, and they'll feel like they have to flush you off. They'll begin to tag you as a heretic and a whole lot of things. And our senses are built right now to believe all these things. So by the moment these things start happening with other people, we feel that something is wrong with them. They are not okay. They are not okay. Now, I'm going to get the part 2 of this where he talked about a lot of things. The relationship, like even from the beginning, you heard that. You heard, oh, you're a bishop. All right. There are things you cannot just accept. Oh, you are a bishop. There are things you don't do. And the moment he dropped being that bishop, because like he said, it's just a title. The moment he stepped down and told himself, I am going to discover what I should discover, he became an enemy to the church. And a lot see him as, oh, he was a bishop, but he's no more a bishop. Don't listen to whatever he says. But there's a lot of wisdom seated in this man that always gushes out. Now, they will want you to feel that people like this do not have any truth in them. Do not listen to these people. You said I shouldn't listen to these people. So you want me to listen to those ones who are seated there, who are diabolical, all right? Who get powers from diabolical sources, who do evil things in the disguise of being whoever, coming out to pretend. You know what they do behind closed doors. And these are the things that I think I keep saying. Do not look at people and think that is the end. Do not look at people or you stay with someone because the person talk, you say, okay, this I know this. You don't know anybody, Your Majesties. The system I went through explains this to me. You don't just judge a book by the cover. That person you see as the worst of all might even be the angel. You might not know. The one you see as the angel might be the devil. You might not know. But what the system wants you to feel is the one you see is the one you should believe. What about the ones you don't see? What do you say about that? What do you say about that? The moment you begin to question the system, I will say that again, you become an enemy. Leave your comment and thought there at the section, Your Majesties, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others. Stay safe, stay positive. Always. Bye for now.